There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Foreign people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of them. The work of my life without fear.
I lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, who make on you. I can't ask you if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask my jamo. And you no money, the more I get you. And you love our money, the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't flee ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't flee ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the thing, and I don't get it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Foreign people who willing to serve. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise from best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, the San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, it is the best in Africa. Sktv, it is the best in the world. Sktv, it is the best in Liberia. And indeed, the facts are there, and the facts remain that we are the best. Because why? You know, it's not easy, to speak truth to power. Whenever you want to talk the truth, or you want to talk about the facts to people, or you want to say the truth, you'll be hated. So sometimes you hear some of these things people will say beyond the same and so forth. But anyway, we moved. Good evening, for yeah, every time this country it is indeed interesting. But anyway, good evening. Let's share the show. Those of you who are joining us, welcome to the Thursday. Very soon I'll be joined by the entire team. Hopefully, the team will be here today. And Monk will be joining us very, very soon. Seku and that of my brother Steve, our brother Steve Mose will be joining us very, very soon on this edition of the Sktv show this evening. Today is Thursday, having to be the 9th of January. Wow. Someone say, how come January is moving with speed? Sometimes this month can pour us into real Greek, Greek. But this month is moving with speed. I don't know about you, but I'm not really feeling, the way sometimes when they kind of month or when they more come, the way you can do. I don't know why, but maybe I kept some cold rice. When you have some rice, as a reserve, sometimes you don't feel the way things will be going, the way people will be crying. People, when they put microphone to their, to their mouth, they be talking, oh, the other government is the best. Oh, for me, man, I don't even know which one is the best now because I have my little cold rice and I'm enjoying. But again, folks, good evening. Welcome. Let me say many thanks to those of you who are watching. Comment, send in your comments so that we can recognize you. Few of you who are watching us and those of you who also listen to us via the radio. Let me say the wonderful way to say thanks to all of you, our old folks. This is what we do. We have a lot of people. I think we have 3 or 4 maybe type of people or listening audience, that follow us, right? We have the old folks. For me, I don't know. I don't like the old folks too much. It is just simple because the old folks they listen to this station, especially Truth FM, and they follow the SKTV show every evening by this time. And guess what? After the show, they will place a call to me. I know some of them, I even know how they can get my numbers, and they will call me. Oh, Mabel, yeah, thank you. I'm this, I'm following the show. In fact, sometimes they even give their own recommendations. That's how people learn. That's how you understand things. That's how you put yourself together. Sometimes they will call and say, yeah, maybe this one happened, this one like this, and this one like that. Look, when you have the listening ear, most definitely you what? You prosper in everything you want to do. But when you feel like you don't want to listen to anybody, you want to do what you want to do, you want to do anything that you think that please you, then that's the time you see yourself into some of these situations that sometimes happen. But again, let me say answer to all of our old folks. Indeed, I don't even know how to call it, but I'm so happy. And every time you are listening, by this time, some of you already glued to your radio. You're glued to your radio. You're sometimes some of you call. Sometimes some of you don't even call, but you listen. And you've been given, in fact, invitation to come over to some of you. Maybe, yeah, but then you say, let me be frank, let me say this. Correct. My brothers, one of the first year person on the show is Monk. By the time we start, Monk already on our back. So, share the show. Yeah, so those of you who've been giving me invitation to come over to you, this and that, it's not easy. So let just be doing the talking behind the singing. Yeah, thank you. We'll come over one day. So my brother is here already. No time to waste. I don't know. Is the cold? Wow. Yeah, I'm seeing the cold too. The cold is it? The snow falling back to back. Mom, where's
No
up? Tell me
snow right
what's
now.
up for
No
you.
snow. No
Oh,
snow
okay.
right now.
Oh, okay. For your end there
But
because
it's
I'm
still cold. It's still
okay.
cold. It's not snowing, but it's still cold. I mean, we get a little bit of sunlight on the cold, but that's Minnesota. We still take it. This
Oh, okay.
January, December and January are the coolest months of the winter season. So if you can get anything 20, 15, 25, man, you got to thank God, especially when there's no snow on the ground. For me, I don't care how cold it can be, but once we don't have too much snow, I think that's okay. But some people
Yeah.
love the snow because it reminds them of the winter. They just love the kind of environment where everything seems to be white, all the
Yeah.
trees white. Some people like that.
But
So, you know,
yeah.
we are different. So just take
Let me
it.
be funny. I have to let me be frank.
Yeah.
When you kind of thing, they kind of more environment, that kind of people who can be able. How come sir, the sun just too much? But again, that's the kind of my world I will live in. But what's up, my brother? How everything? How it going?
Man, nothing much. Great to be alive another day. To be on SKTV. Our fans keep telling them to share the show. I think people are still in the
Yeah,
process of
yeah,
sharing. I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
share today. I'm yet to share. I'm about to share. So while you
Yeah,
keep going,
indeed, let's join them. Also,
let
indeed,
me
you are
spread the link.
yes, indeed, you are quite
Mm.
correct. Let's join them. Those of you who want to follow us also on the internet, you can also do come up or just search for SKTV LRB, and most definitely you're going to see us, and so that you can be able
Yeah,
to be part.
just hit the share
Yeah,
button.
yeah, yeah, indeed,
You know, the
indeed,
one thing I
indeed.
love about the share button, when you hit the share button, you got two options. You can either three options. You can
Mm-hmm.
either share it on your wall, you can share it in
Mm-hmm.
the group or all the group you subscribe to, and
Mm-hmm.
you can share it in your inbox. That's it. You can share it to multiple people on a
Oh,
simple click.
yes.
So that's the options you got. Yep, man, we start the new
Yes,
year.
yes, yes. So please share the show. Like my brother just said, share the show. Today is Thursday, and so many things that we're going to talk about. But again, Mark, yeah. So the contest sport meet also kick off. That will be on Sunday, by the grace
Hmm.
of God. I don't know which country you'll be supporting, but there are a lot of zest. People are jubilating. People can't wait for the contest sport meet to kick off, and people are also in their supportive mood. Mind you, Liberians, when it comes to sports, uh, especially the kind of events, that's when you see us coming together as people. So, what's the take with the contest sport meet?
For me, I'm now a big fan of the modern format of the counter meet. And there is a reason. For me, my belief is The counter meet should have been one of the places you go to recruit young talent, and the whole idea is to get a strong national team. You look two places for the strength of the national team. You look at the domestic league, that is the first division league, and then you go towards the county meet. Because if you go through our history, some of the big names that came to the national team, they all came from the county meet. But to me, it's more of an entertainment thing. It's almost like a festivity rather than the objective of strengthening the national team. So you got county meet happening every year, but then the national team keep going down the rankings. We can't get results. We cannot qualify for any regional or continental tournament. So I see no essence. I see no use of it. I mean, because that was the whole objective. When you hear the leg of Simon Mato and all those guys, some of the guys from the national team back then, they came from
Yeah,
the county
more.
meet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where the national team used to recruit some of the best players in the country. The county meet, the Fred Division League, those are the two places. But now you watch all the county meet and you ask how many players that came from the county meet that made it to the national team and in making the national team a
And
better.
sometimes to even add to you, my brother, sometimes politicians even benefit and even the talent.
Oh yeah, because that's why. Oh yeah, but you know they got to politicize
Yeah.
everything. They want to be. The people. Two things they use in our country. They use sports, and then they use religion. Because they know that this thing bring about, people happy, people merry making here and there. It seems like an entertainment. So when a
Mhm.
politician is seen on the field, the people be like, yeah, she's supporting the country, and we got
Yeah.
to support her. That they doing it for political reason. My thing here is it's not going anywhere because the domestic league is not getting stronger. The national team is getting weaker every time. I told people since that 2002 World Cup qualifier, the moment Liberia failed to qualify for that World Cup, I believe that was the end of football. And since then, the national team have never looked back. That was the end because it was the closest we ever came to a World Cup. Because let me tell you something, Melbourne, when you see all these African players that play in Europe,
Mm.
in those big competitions, whether they are on Real Madrid, the Liverpool, the Mo Salah, the
Mhm.
Sadio Mane, the Yaya Toure. Look, competition exposed player. You don't have to go to the World Cup to win the World Cup, but the fact that you went to the World Cup, it put light on your country. A lot of scouts and coaches from around the world national team, they start pinpointing players because, of course, look for certain characteristics in the player. So let's assume a Lone Star who have participated in that Korea and Japan 2002 World Cup. People like the Zeze Rawa, the George Ibo, the Alex Brown, all those guys that were coming out, but now they will have been playing on a better team in Europe and making way more money. But even a couple of nations, you cannot even qualify. I think we only qualify our whole history twice. Mali, 2000, I think it was 2002, and South
Yes,
Africa, 96. Can you
that's all.
imagine from 1996 now to it's almost how many years? Close to what? 20 some or 30 years? And we
Yes,
can't
close
even
to 40
qualify.
years. Mm.
Yeah, and we cannot even qualify for a tournament that is played every 2 years. So how do you expect to see some of our players in some of the biggest league in the Premier League or the La Liga or the Serie A? You're not going to see them because we don't participate in any regional or continental competition. Let's talk about the World Cup. That's where the problem is. And the only player you can recruit, the National League, is not even strong, and the county meet is for entertainment. So you won't expect to see a better national team anytime soon in your lifetime. Sorry to
Well,
say that.
Mark, I think you just said, I just like the way you put it. It is indeed frustrating. And let me just add up to you that there's no way that you'll be having one thing over and over and you don't benefit anything. You're not getting,
Yeah.
yeah, because of that, in the simplest form, Mark, like what you're just saying, we have the content meet every time over and over. And we are producing no talent. Nobody going outside. Like, brother, we're not even into our own tournament around us here, like for example, the Nation Cup, before I even talk about World Cup. So then, for the essence, I think some of these things, like Monk saying, this thing should be about sparking up talents, bringing
Yeah.
up young people, making sure that at least some of the talents will be well taken care of. But Monk, trust me, you will hear all of the last, in fact, the names, you will hear all of the talents names, you will hear all of the politicians talking, people blowing out of the horns and so forth, my brother. After the tournament, everything go down. Say,
Yeah,
someone
and
say, yeah,
the interest is
everything
not there
go down.
because Melbourne, let me tell you something. I was picking growing up in our country, the national team, especially during the war. These are some of the things that get Georgia leverage. You got a whole generation of people, you just coming from war, the country is devastated, infrastructure wise, people, somebody lost some family member, and then you got this one guy who just on the national stage flying the country flag. So Georgia was literally the only thing we're looking up to at the time. And when they say a game, look, it was the only thing that used to unite the whole country when a game is coming. Let's say like Tanzania, I can remember the Tanzania game. Immediately after the war, the whole city is upside down because it was the only thing that gave people hope at that time. You just come from war, people stay in refugee camps, some people getting their life together. That stadium would be filled to the rafters, and it bring whether you from Ulimo K or the MPF, all those guys will forget about that war aspect. Everybody focus on the national team. But then since that particular event, like I said, that failure to qualify for the World Cup, people just thought that was the final nail in the coffin of the national team. And since then, we have never recovered, never ever recovered since that. Maybe there was a time in like, bro, where even Chion High School League, when you go to that ATS, or even the high school league, I'm not talking about the national league. When you see the competition in the high school league, you'll be like, wow, you want to be on the field every day because they were producing some of the best of the best.
The thing you just said today, but because we are not going anywhere.
Where it's
All
just politics.
our status, everything just down, nothing moving. You bring about counter me now. Counter me, people are all gearing up for that. Look, Mom, I think you just saying we have about 15 counties, and all of the counties, tell me for God's sake, Mom, if you have maybe 2 players, talented players from each of the counties, you don't think we'll be having a wonderful team?
Yeah, you have a wonderful team. You will have a strong national team.
Strong national team. But Mom, I'm just so frustrated sometimes the way we just continue to do one thing over and over and over and again, no result.
And yeah, another thing about the counter meet. Let me give you another breaking news on the counter meet. Because I did some background check with this thing. When you look at the county meet now, and look at all the counties, you will find out that more than 80% of the players just from the same Monserrado county in that Moravia surrounding. Even though they say they come from River G, but they don't take players from River G. Okay, if we want to take all the players, we cannot assume that all the best soccer players is in or they are located in Monserrado County, right? Because like I said, back in the day, they were coming from other counties. Okay, yeah, they will put 1 or 2 players to blend in, but the bulk of them came from that identical county from that particular location.
Come from the
so that way, yeah. But no, everybody, 90% of the players come from Monserrado County or Moravia, and you say they are coming from Grand Baza, they are coming from River G. At the end of the day, you have just recycled the same old players, and you're not getting the other talent from other parts of the country. So
but you want result, but you want talent. How do you get the kind of talent we have? Maybe other talent wasting up there, maybe up in Tiwa, somewhere around in Maryland County, but you have almost like one old talent around here that you continue to research. Like you said, Mom, you go see that, for example, James Brown play for Lover County this season. Next season, the same James Brown will go play for Grand Kema. Next season, I'm just confused.
Look, everything like running a total overhaul. Everything. It's not only the politics, just the way of living, the whole system. Maybe I can remember coming, we all in our country, but like after the war, when you are a young man coming, the only 2 things you want to do, you want to either play soccer, where the guys on the entertainment in terms of era league. Can you imagine era league? When you see some community era league, you think like it's World War II. That excitement. Like when you go play to the Bomber Bridge and the core where you see some of the talents from in the neighborhood, man. People play era league and it's so competitive. And you're talking about young men, you go to school, everybody that at the time quizzing, man. You want to be on the beat the talented, man. Morale there for you, you smart guy, you can go. But he's there. Everything that Muya, everything that revolutionary, like Barrett.
Oh God. Thank you. Actually, so that's the county meet kick off on Sunday, coming Sunday. That will be the 12th of January. Those of you who are supporting either the counties of the choice, or maybe where you hear from, well, that's your will to keep supporting. But again, maybe one of these days, like my brother said, the system will change. But it is indeed frustrating that I think every season, every time the county me play, we should be able to spark new talent. I think what more you're trying to say. Like for example, if you're from Lofa County, last season we have maybe a few players from Lofa County, and this season maybe there'll be other younger players who also from Lofa County that will be able to join the team. I think those players too will be able to have some opportunity to even for that talent to be seen. Because man, you're doing a county, I mean, there are a lot of people that go on the field to watch the game, right, Monk?
For sure. That's it. That's the whole idea. Because as dress by dress, you don't play soccer forever. You play soccer from your maybe early 20s in Africa because in Europe they can start at a younger age, like some of them
Yeah, 16,
16.
17.
Like
Mm.
Fernando Torres, the Wayne Rooney, and they were 16, they started playing big time football. But in Africa, I would say that maybe your early 20s, 21, 22, you should start playing. Then by the time you reach your 35, you call it quit and create room for the other young people to come through. But if you keep circulating the same old player every year, then you're not even giving the bulk of the young people to come and show their talent. And matter of fact, you're only recruiting from one geographical location in the country. You see, you keep rotating the same player, then you're not helping the national team. That's it.
Well, anyway, my brother, let's move. What are some of the latest, maybe, is there any international news apart from maybe the wildfire?
Uh,
The fire situation.
Yeah, I think it's the only thing that they from California. California got
Mm.
some state laws and regulations when it comes to water supply, and they are struggling. That's one of the reason, and they got some environmental law. I don't know why. Every state, it's almost like in America, every state is like a country by themselves. They got their own governor, they got their own structure in place, they got their own belief. It's a liberal state, so they do things from a liberal point of view. In California, when it comes to the water supply, when you go to the southern part of California, like the LA County, the San Diego area, those parts going towards the Mexican border, they got limited water supply, right? In certain cities. And most of these cities are on the hill. So you don't have too much of an access to water. But they came up with this regulation wherein they limited the water supply for the northern part of California to help in case of a disaster. And they believe that when trees fall or when you fell trees, you cannot clean the leaves because they say it go back to kind of a fertilize the soil. They cannot, but they fail to realize that when the fire comes, those dry leaves, the fire runs through them like no other because the leaves are already dry. The sticks and everything already dry. So it will just push the fire further. It will just be bigger. And then because of the COVID vaccine, I listened to one lawmaker from California talking about, he said because some of the employees from the fire department refused to take the vaccine, they fired them. So they have limited number of firefighters, and this fire in front is so huge that the guys that are on staff now they cannot barely contain the fire. So and let me tell you the worst thing that happened. I couldn't believe when I read the article this morning. Do you know, Melbourne, the insurance
Yeah.
company?
Mm.
People pay insurance for disaster so that when this thing happen, the insurance
Mm.
company can reimburse or to give them some kind of a compensation for that property. The
Mm.
insurance company went ahead and canceled those people policy for their homes. So all the people, most of them, their houses getting burned, they are on their own because they are not covered by the fire disaster. Can you imagine that? That you
Why?
end up losing everything. I don't know. I really, really don't know how if they were able to predict the fire because they just canceled their policy like a few months ago, and people just got to know when the fire hit that their insurance policies have been canceled. It's so frustrating. I saw one grown man crying on television, 70-year-old man. He don't know where to
Yeah,
start from.
I was watching some of the same, just so terrible.
Oh yeah,
Very, very terrible, my dear brother. Well,
yeah. But
that's
I
it,
said
and that's the
life
what,
goes
like,
on.
and that's the what, like you said, my dear. So let's move on with some of the local happening. What are some of the news that maybe that caught your attention? Maybe that we may not, maybe see, or maybe seeing out there, or even seeing. So, yeah, what are some of the news that caught your attention back home?
The other news, I mean, two stories that caught my attention. They allege report about I think the Prince Moy denied some allegation about manipulating the budget. And this whole thing about the Bill Ando McGill guy from the finance ministry
Mhm.
implicating the US government and the US government, and he still remained defiant. He's still trying to justify. We were supposed to read that article on the show yesterday. We didn't. So maybe because it's a serious story, and some people are saying, this thing is not only a disgrace to the country, but it's an affront to our foreign partners, and most especially the US for the historical ties that you want to implicate the US government in something like this is not a very good thing for the Barker administration. And there were some people that wrote some editorial pages. Any other story, Melbourne, the other man that sliced their own throat talking about his girlfriend cheated on him. I think you sent me that, that story, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, we saw that indeed.
I was
Somewhere
like,
watching from Nigeria.
yeah, this dude, like, you're not ready. The good thing is he didn't slap the people dollar's throat. At least he slapped his own throat. That's a good thing about it. Even though it's not a good thing, but I think I would take that other story. That was his call to make. I don't know why he decided to go that route, but those three stories were the one that I followed up a little bit on today. So
Well, yeah, my dear, thank you. You are correct. And so let me just give you some latest update. Then we move on to our discussion here today. So, like Moss said, today we'll be looking at that American letter forge or who forged the letter. Man, you front page. That was the article yesterday, right? Or that was the question, in fact, that they asked. Who forged the
Yeah, who for the
U.S.
U.S. embassy letter? That was the I think, but it
Yes.
came out with an article a day or two earlier that they retracted because of certain information that came. But then this article about who forged the letter, it came for the U.S. embassy letter. That's the one I'm talking about.
All right, wonderful. So yeah, so that today we'll be looking at that letter today. Most of our talking here today will be looking at that U.S. letter. But again, Mark, Liberians there have been quakes. I think yesterday, I don't know whether you followed that also from one of our sister network, the Spoon Network on yesterday about the situation back home, about which government it is first year it is the best. You know, Liberia now is the corner that you said in the football business, people believe into what they can hear, what they want to know about, what they think can make them happy. So
Mhm.
when the Spoon Network yesterday, when someone around the red light bell, and they were having some interview with our people, Liberians out there about the first year of the rescue government, and throughout the time with all of their interview, according to their own statistics, 80% of those that were interviewed said that the previous government were far better, or in their first year they did perform than this government. So that means the government scored 20 according to the statistics coming from Spoon Network about those that were interviewed. And I think that process will continue. According to them, they're going to continue with that process back to back, having the diverse views of Liberians about how they think, how they about the country, what going on, and so forth. But apart from that, Mark, with that story about that guy who tried, or maybe that take away his life, allegedly, according to information that due to some people say because a girlfriend, that was the first information that came out to us. Then later on, they said the family said otherwise. So again, we are still uh, waiting to hear the actual story because I think they know they will tell the public about exactly what happened. So again, Liberians are still waiting on the investigation that is still ongoing by the Liberian National Police. Mind you, yesterday the police came up with their own press conference saying that they are investigating, and there are names that will be called, and those names are already in their possessions about the uh, Capitol building burning down of the Capitol building, or the Capitol building, certain part of the Capitol building that got on fire. So apart from that, there are other trending national news, especially when it comes to this story also in one of the paper. Let me see, coming from B Mountain about the life of the people there. I think I put that also on, or I posted that on my day, and said they are suffering because the okay, it said we are dying slowly, no food, no safe drinking water, no way to plant crops. BMMC's affected communities cry out in K-Mount. So some Martinez, they are crying from Big Mountain Company or from the mining company that there's no way for them to plant their crops, no way for them to get safe drinking water, and they are dying slowly, according to this investigator newspaper, according to this newspaper. So I just passed by with this information because it is indeed interesting for our government to hear some of these things that our people are going through. So again, quickly, the president that was chosen by the U.S. sorry, by the UL board found a touchdown, and today she was seen at the executive mansion today for a little ceremony. So hopefully she'll be taking over on Friday by the grace of God. And also, SUP also agree. SUP say yes, indeed, they welcome the appointment of the new UL president. So, so far, so good, my brother. These are some of the happening, and these are some of the things on our decks.
For me, the whole thing about this opinion poll about who's performing better, I keep telling people on the show, I know some people got their own feelings and emotions to spread or hair when it comes to the two administration. I know that I keep saying it. When it comes to the transformation of Liberia, when it comes to economic cruising down on economic anxiety in Liberia. Joseph Boaga and Georgia stand no chance in taking Liberia where Liberia needs to be. Whether you like it or not, that's just the reality. So most of the time when I see people conducting these random survey or polling, they go and ask people in the street, I'm like, you know what? Most of the time it can be psychological, it cannot be scientifically proven because look, Melbourne, if a government comes to power and people are feeling the pain, they will blame that government. They could care less about what happened from the previous government. That's just how people operate. They're looking at the present reality. Because if you want to make that case, I can give you a host of instances between the two administrations, whether it was this random and suspicious death, whether it was the mop or exercise, whether it was the safe protest. I don't know which metrics they are using to do the measurement in terms of who did better than the other. Because I think Joseph Boga, even though he's starting much slower, I think he stayed in the first 100 in the first 1 year. I cannot make the comparison. I cannot give the previous administration the benefit of the doubt that they did better. Because if that was the case, they would not be projecting a bigger budget. Because the last time I checked, this administration is projecting 880 million. That's why I keep telling you it confuses me all the time that people are talking about economic anxiety, people are stressing out when it comes to job, when it comes to the economy, and yet you keep making these big projections that make no sense to me. I don't understand that, but that's it. And we cannot talk about budget shuffle because it was budget shuffle throughout. I can say dating back to the second term of Madam Sali, we've been experiencing budget shuffle repeatedly. I cannot tell the last time that the government had a surplus or a balanced budget. So I'm not going to argue about that. It's all for the people out there. But I know most of this time when you ask people this kind of a question about the economy and things that they're
Mhm,
experiencing, they are basing
mhm,
their decision based on what they're experiencing now. So even if the current government did a little better than the previous government, they won't give the benefit of the doubt to the sitting government because they are the one in power now. They inherited everything. They take full responsibility. So usually when you ask people those questions, more definitely they will say the Boaga administration is worse off than. And the same thing happened with Georgia. People say, "Oh, Madam Sally, she never performed as expected. Oh, we send the question to Georgia." The very first year I can remember Christmas, they went to
mhm,
the market. They started regretting why Georgia became president. That things are worse on nowhere than Madam Sally. I said, but Madam Sally spent 12 years in power. Georgia is just there for less than he been there for less than 12 months. So how do you even make the comparison? Because there were certain things that he himself inherited from the previous administration, so you cannot shift all the blame. But that's just how people think. They're looking at the present reality, and that's how they're going to make that decision. So
and
those
and
kind of
and,
a polls, I don't listen
mhm.
to them. I don't follow them. Yep.
Okay, but Monk, I think we have to, one way or the other. Maybe let me just say this to you that I think these people are the direct uh, people that feel the pain, or when there is
Mm-hmm.
good, that will also tell us that yes, indeed things are okay or not. So I think some of these SSR are good. Some of the SSR speak volume, tell you as a president or maybe as a government, either for you to do
Mm-hmm.
better, for you to put
Yep.
your feet down, or maybe for you to put your feet down and be able to do more. Because, like for example, if you compare former President Weah, who was novice about them, who don't know, people will say, yes, he was not into leadership, he not understand governance, he not understand government, and this and that. Compare him with that of President Joseph Imam Boakai, who uh, been into government or governance cycle for nearly 42 years. And even make things juicy for him, let me say that way, he was the number two person in this country for 12 years. So, Monk, let's do the comparative
Comparative
analysis, yeah,
analysis.
and
Yeah.
see, yeah, and see as to let's do like someone who don't know nothing or who don't understand, and someone who understand, and let's grade them and say, Monk, even when you want
That,
to
that's
even give
what
a
that's what I keep saying.
yeah.
Like you don't want to look at the psychological aspect, you want to look at the number side, and it's more complicated than you think. And you just gave the perfect example that Joseph Boaga been there for 4 decades plus, and we are came from the soccer field, came to politics late as a senator before becoming president. So he never came with that kind of a gravitas as opposed to Joseph Boaga and the previous administration. But then people could also make the case if they want to look at the facts and say that Georgia inherited a much better government than Joseph Boakai. For the fact that he was a novel, he made a lot of mistakes. But coming from Madam Salif, after 12 years, there were a lot of things that were put in place that Georgia never had to reinvent the wheel or figure out things because everything was set in place. Watchdog institution, he came and made the country sitting on a reserve. People say, okay, the economy was not perfect, but it was still better. So you see, it all depends who you ask and how they are looking at the situation. Because you can say, okay, Georgia, he inherited a better government than what Joseph Boakai is inheriting now from where. Because you could say, okay, he was a novice, we accepted that. We made him president, he was a novice. He came to learn on the job. There were a lot of blunder, and Joseph Boakai had to repair those blunders because you cannot make the comparison. If you talk about seasoned politician and what the other government inherited, you would say that Georgia inherited a better, or he inherited a lot of good things from the previous government than what Joseph Boakai inherited from him. So it's a tough decision to make, but you said it right. The reason you do this thing so as to get the leadership or the president an idea how people are perceiving his government in terms of making progress or not, and who better can you ask than the people on the street? So they will make that decision for the benefit of that will go with them. But I'm just saying, when you want to be real scientific, you want to put all the factors into consideration, then it will be a very tough argument to make. But the people
Yeah.
themselves, they are the best people to hear from when it comes to opinion. I would call it opinion poll. You know, that's just how they feel. They are living the
Indeed, because
present moment. So that's how, yeah.
yes, so that's it. We just pass you with that so that some of you so you can understand exactly what's going on in Liberia. There are a lot of Liberians out there who are giving out their own frustration about how they think about the government, especially. Look, well, I still have that video in my possession, and I think I will play that video when President Jota Yima Bwaka passed through red light, but then he was president elect. I think that happened 2023 December 27, either 27 between there when he passed through red light. People were putting their lappers down. People were jumping here and there. People,
Mm.
people were even jumping on the car. Monk. But
Yeah, I
today,
saw it recently.
good. The same group
Yeah.
of people that were jumping on the car today that are saying that no, we could just
Listen to what our brother said, Alexander or Boniface or Hayes. He said comparing fufu and domo that can be from the same cassava and saying that one is better or one has different benefit must be or momo bring. Yeah, that's it. That real comparing fufu and domo.
my brother, that's it. You just have to compare because
No.
that's the
Ah.
voters, and that's what the voters think, and how they see it. Look, let me tell you, whether you like it or not, these are people that go to the pool to vote, and they are the ones that are going to make all of the decision. So
Oh
when they
yes.
come out to tell you that this
You,
is this, this is that, sometimes
you
we can
can
just
ignore them.
downplay good.
No, you cannot. You
Mhm.
cannot. And they don't have to be right. They cannot be scientific. They don't have all the facts, but that's their opinion. And that's how they're seeing it. Remember, all the time we talk on the show, when we talk about Liberia and making progress, we keep saying it all the time. Look, people cannot make better choices if they haven't seen anything better.
Mm.
If they haven't been exposed to something better, how will you know what is better? So they are making a comparison between, and now what the brother said, you comparing Dumbo and Fufu that come in the same castle. Joseph Baga and Georgia that say the same. Are you serious? How can you
No,
compare?
no,
Comparing the two men, the
for
country is
me,
already is a losing argument anyway. Because you haven't
I-
seen anything better, so you don't know better to make better choices. That's just why it is. So the same people that said Joseph Baga things that thought that at one point in a lap, I saw them red light. The president just drove through there and they were all on the street. They were dancing. I said, yeah, the people they really interested in dancing for through more than the country making progress. Yeah. And they do the same thing during
I
election.
disagree with Alexander Boniface. Alexander, let me tell you, there's no way in this world that you go to school through all your time and some kind of nature just come from some kind of village and just can be competing with you. No, no, no. Then I made something wrong somewhere. For me,
Most definitely.
yeah, yeah. For me, I see the entire leadership thing to admit. You can be somewhere for more than 30 plus years. Then somebody
Mm.
come from somewhere, then people are comparing you and that person. No.
Yeah. They so forget what that person said. They so say no. There's not
Good,
even an argument, you know.
good. No,
That's
that's
why
the
the guy
point.
from Burkina Faso, the man went to the inauguration. Maybe I was watching videos this morning from that inaugural ceremony in Ghana. The boss stole the show. The boss stole the show from Muhammad. 2.5 years. The man went to Ghana in Ghana. Cannonball flying the Burkina Faso flag. I say, yeah, they bought her the talk of the entire global community, not even Africa. 2.5 years of military men.
I can imagine the
But
man
that's good.
go.
That's it.
So
Yeah,
you see some people blessing just there.
yeah.
Well, yeah. So that means even when the man go to election, you will win.
Mm.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah, for
be
my
oh, be get a pocket coming. Pocket coming
yeah,
wanting 98% of the vote. 98 or 99%.
yeah, I think something like that. But mommy just show the video quick, then we'll go to our
Our
topic quickly.
letter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is I don't know a training video. Let me see the video quickly. Those of you sorry do the video just training. So that
Look. Oh God.
oh my God. So much yeah. Look,
Oh God. Look. Oh my God.
move fly.
It's sad.
Look, you always say you want to be, you can see some of the video now on the internet. I think they want to, wow, can you imagine? Law enforcement officer. And that,
No. Oh my God.
so
Look,
what kind of
maybe
crime
I
that,
may play that video again, man. We gotta show that
yeah,
video again,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, so I got take out the stress, my brother. You did know when you, let me see the video again. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
You gotta
Let me
laugh
see.
at the stress, my brother. Hmm.
Look, no, so every day of our life, if it is not something that the police officer lie down flat on a taxi, is that the who? Yes, on
Yeah,
a
that's a
taxi
who
like
right
that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, lying like that flat. You don't even care about your life. So what kind of crap, Mark? That kind of thing. That go, God,
You
what
know,
I
all
tell
these
you,
things come from all these things come from empowerment, and we talk about incentive. Maybe when you pay people decent wages, all these things come from harassment. If the
yeah,
policeman will keep harassing the taxi driver all the time on the traffic just because he want to put something in your pocket, that respect will be gone. Maybe when in this country, when you are driving on the freeway, when you see your state patrol,
mm,
look, that when you will know that law enforcement, you got to give people the power because that's the only way you can execute justice in the society. People have to have respect for the police and other law enforcement. Remember, when you drive in this country, I'm not comparing like Britain America in any way, shape, or form, but some level of respect must be there. And I said this thing come down to compensation. It's mostly economical because if the policeman is making decent wages to take care of himself, he will not be. I'm not saying everything will be perfect, but he won't bring himself that low to extract or to take money from people, or how they call it, the drivers, the petty drivers, or harassing them. Because that harassment will lead to that. Maybe this guy say, "Mommy, boy, I met you before. I gave you
and
something. You
just
come
come
back, you
in,
can't pay me." Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So if you see a policeman on a car who been dragged over the place, you think people are going to respect him? No. People are not going to respect him. When people don't have respect for law enforcement, that's when they tend to violate the law. Like I said, if you are driving in this country, maybe when we like maybe 50 cars or 20 cars headed the same direction, the moment you see one police vehicle, you know what happened? Everybody start driving with the speed limit. Get a robot until that police make a brush off the road and go somewhere. He ain't coming to you, but just for the fact when you see the police officer car, the patrol car in America, you see everybody having the best behavior. You can just see the cars in line. Nobody can overtake. Nobody is running. Everybody going on one speed. The reason being because that fear is there. They're not coming to beg you for money. They're not asking for bribe, because when the policeman say, I'm giving you a ticket or I'm taking you to jail, nobody can come beg for you. So for that reason, look, maybe all these things, they are psychological. When you put system in place, people respect the system. You pay
I
people on
feel
time.
sorry
When people doing their work, yeah,
the
But I say, my
policemen.
brother, so many problems. They dragging the policeman uniform on a car. Like, so what make you think if another taxi driver is passing by, you see the policeman, you be like, man, you fully people, then they won't respect them. And if they don't have respect for the police, then they will not be able to do things they need to do in the traffic, whether it's reckless driving, whether it's harassment. And I watched that young man yesterday. People say most of the truck drivers are reckless because they believe they can bribe police officers at any given point in time and get away with things. But when the law is the law, if they are being pointed, then trust me, people will start respecting folks in uniform. That's just why it is. All these things don't happen by magic. It happened by system and
and,
respect for the
and,
rule of
and,
yes.
and, and, and more quickly, I don't know how come sometimes the government see things like maybe they are they're never in the wrong. That how I see Liberia government system look like monk. They are never in the wrong. Even nobody's saying that you should come out and maybe meet and people say, oh yeah, we wrong. But if there is wrong, tell the public that this officer or this happened and this is it. But even to what Monk just said, let me just add to Monk quickly. Monk, let me be frank. I follow you and I agree with you. The government of Liberia, even to issue uniform at work, see the police officer dress code. What kind of police officer on a Monday, from Monday to Thursday, that be wearing t-shirt? Monk.
I know.
What kind of police officer is that? That's not well dressed. Police officer that's supposed to be going with their badge, with everything, with their name, everything on their uniform, so that you'll be able to know them, even if the policeman or maybe tell something for you. But if we just make the security system is why the other police to look like we are still in the dark days. Because let me be frank, some of us we saw all of these things. During the dark days, you don't see ATU, you don't see SOD, you don't see the Malaysia. People just mix with each other until people don't even know who to even trust. But today, you will see police officer with t-shirt on from Monday to Thursday. It's wrong.
And one of the brothers just said it right. It go both ways too, maybe. But sometimes you cannot only blame the people in traffic, some of the taxi drivers or the keke riders and the pimping. Some of these guys too, they're not professional. Look, my brother, if you're a policeman, you got to carry some level of respect for yourself too. It go both ways. You know, you doing your thing, you taking money from them, you harassing them, you try to come up with all kind of violation in the traffic because you think you can exploit them, take money from them. But equally so too, at a certain point, you got to draw the line. You got to respect yourself. Okay, yeah, you're arguing with the man is pulling over. Okay, yeah, there's a way. You cannot jump on the car and he keep dragging you all that because you are losing respect in the process. And somebody got to that one of the listeners just said somebody into the guy they kind of a rebel kind of attitude. They believe that they stay in the war, they where they can be hanging on
But
car
that's the thing I
and do
just
not
said,
know. You
Monk.
are a police officer. You gotta
Yeah,
respect
police
yourself
officer.
too. Yes. You
Someone
can't
they
bring
don't even
yourself that
have
low.
handcuff. Monk, they don't
Yeah.
even have handcuff. Someone they don't even train. Sometimes by the time they got them hold them 1-2 times, someone them will even start falling.
Yeah, you want to retaliate. There are two men that were
I'm
fighting with
gonna
the chicken
say.
feet. The other men that broke his man ribs from look.
So all of these things, government, you have huge tax. Even you got to clean your own horse or Mr. RG, you got to think about all these things. Not even look at the RG when you're working, Monk. When the RG working, you see more than 10 police officers. I was like, hey, Monk, hey, RG working, 10 police officers going back to back. Like we stay into when you make people to think that by the time they see you, they think that something is about to happen. Like we are
Yeah,
staying
that
into the
fear.
wartime where we used to see
Yeah,
I put a Daniel chain about them. Let me tell some of you, but we saw all of these things. Where by the time you see one B-man somewhere, more you see more than 10 to 15
yeah,
or ATU officers, you see mess officers.
yeah.
People want it
They won't
gun,
make
people in shine, want it gun, yeah, and then no. Honorable RG, even 2 officers can guide you. 2 officers can guide you, Honorable RG. You don't need 10 police officers, you alone. I saw that
I
photo.
know.
When you were working, you saw more than 10 police officers. We're not fighting war here. We're not into
That's
any
just
kind
way
of
too much. Yeah.
yeah. So my brother, that's it. Let's move on. Let's go to the article yesterday. And
Yeah,
I think Nigeria.
the
Mm-hmm.
article here, they say who forged the U.S. embassy a letter, and it was written by this guy, or I think they call him Gerard Kunian, if I'm pronouncing his name right. Okay, I mean, I want people. There's a very fascinating article. It say a lot of things, and it go into the history. We'll just read it real quick, and then you will get an idea as to what we're talking about because we talk about it. It says Bill Jones, the Deputy Minister of Administration and Ministry of Finance Development and Planning, has found himself in a storm of controversy following revelation that he presented a falsified U.S. embassy document to justify $322,441 contract awarded on unquestionable circumstances. The fraudulent document, which Mr. Jones claimed validated the procurement process and the company awarded the contract, has been exposed as a fabrication. We contacted the Front Page Africa, the U.S. Embassy, distanced itself from the document, saying it is fake. In addition to the disputed U.S. Embassy letter, Front Page Africa have obtained several other recommendations letter to justify the contract awarded with the embassy rebuttal concerning growing over the legitimacy of the document as well. The contract awarded to the elite group of companies for painting and structural assessment has been the subject of intense scrutiny and made accusation of self-dealing involving senior officials at the ministry. The issue has gained widespread attention on social media, prompting public outcry for call for accountability. Deputy Minister Jones, one of the officials implicated, defended the procurement process. He claimed that the contract was awarded transparently and in compliance with the Public Procurement and Concession Act. Jones further asserted that the elite group of companies was selected based on recommendation from multiple reputable institutions, including the U.S. Embassy. Okay, it's in the dispute letter. The falsified letter dated November 1st, entitled Letter of Recommendation from successful performance of contract for renovation of painting of the old U.S. Embassy compound, praised the elite group of companies for a alleged track record of quality work. The letter reads, in part, elite contractor in global services has an outstanding track record for quality work and an impeccable reputation for service delivery. I can assure you that if selected for the contract award, elite will definitely stand up to a reputation for success. That's the that's what the letter is saying now. From Page Africa also was there several features in the letter that question the authenticity. The phrase to whom it may concern is written to whom it may concern instead of please do not hesitate to contact me. The author wrote contract. That's why the embassy rejection the letter because they are telling that the letter is fake now because some of the sentences and the way in which the letter was phrased. Deputy Minister Jones continued to insist on its authenticity. Front Page Africa retraction. The scandal erupted after Front Page Africa, relying on a fake communication, like I talked about Melbourne, published a story suggesting that the U.S. Embassy has endorsed the company's involvement in Minister Jones and that Minister Jones was vindicated from allegations of self-dealing. Following the U.S. Embassy clarification, Front Page Africa has since acknowledged the error and retracted the publication. The controversial contract. The fake document is part of a broader controversy surrounding 322,000 contract, which allocate $244,441 for painting and $78,000 for structural assessment. Critics question the exorbitant cost and allege that the contract was awarded to company linked to Minister Jones and Assistant Minister Paul Lamine. Conflict of interest involved abroad public procurement law, for which mandate transparency and prohibits public officials from benefiting from procurement processes. Jones dismissed the allegation of conflict of interest surrounding the two contracts. He described the accusation as false, misleading, and a deliberate smear campaign aimed at tarnishing his reputation. Minister Jones in December stated that uh, the procurement process followed abroad public procurement and concession law. The procurement process was carried out transparently with strict adherence to all applicable laws and guidelines, he said. He clarified that the contract were awarded by an independent bid evaluation panel, free from interference by him or any other senior ministry official. Dismissing claim of favoritism, Minister Jones denied that his biological brother had any ties to the winning company. The allegations are baseless, having a connection to. But then people talk about the history that this same Jones guy, and that's the portion of this article I found fascinating. This is not the first time that Jones has been tied to allegations of awarding faulty contracts. Eric Akwe, the former procurement director of the Ministry of Finance in 2014. You remember one of the caller called yesterday and mentioned this particular issue about this Eric Akwe guy yesterday? Yeah, it's what Front Page Africa is reporting. I think he read this article too. Jones has said Akwe was suspended for contract fixing and questionable transaction, something that subsequently led to his dismissal. However, Akwe claimed that he was fired because he refused to violate the procurement law. The Minister of Finance Development and Planning has entered into a contractual agreement with Rovia Gate Technology LLC, represented by co-founder and chief executive officer Oliver Willer Clark Jr. in 2024. The contract worth $200,000, including the annual update and implementation of the budget management fiscal system 2024. Akwe alleged the contract was awarded outside the PPC law. He accused Jones of requesting him to increase the cost. And the same thing, people are raising contention that this particular assessment fee is way too much. And the same thing from the previous guy is saying that he was told to increase. Yeah. Akwe alleged that the contract was awarded outside the PPC law. He accused Jones of requesting him to increase the cost of the budget management system contract the ministry signed with Rovia Gate Technology from $180,000 to $240,000, with the excess $60,000 as signature fee. Can you imagine? Maybe $60,000 in signature fee. According to him, the service provider, look, the country here. Look here. Let me see where I was.
Yes,
according to him, the service provider had already agreed during the negotiation to perform the service for $180,000 within the same turnaround time as the $200,000. But when the document was presented Mr. Jones for his signature on February 9, he refused his own ground that he needed to know what was available for him before affixing his signature. Remember, we don't have to go through all of this because it's a very long article, but I think it's the main idea. The main idea is already there. He has a history of doing this. So I'm not going to vindicate him. I'm not going to accuse him. I don't know there will be any investigation. But the only thing that drew my attention to this story was the fact that the people that are being implicated, the people that are refuting this claim, that's the U.S. embassy. And the contradiction on his part is, if you are saying that this particular contractor got a track record of doing excellent work, then why would you want to implicate other people with a fake kind of a letter of recommendation? Because you cannot, look, it's a contradiction already. You cannot say that you are following the public procurement law and you can bet your neck for this company because of that reputation of some of the job that they did in the past, and then be looking for fake document to authenticate the level of the quality of the work that they have been doing in the past. Maybe isn't that confusing? I said Maybon is a good man. Maybon got carried out because Maybon track record. That's why I'm giving him the contract. Then on the other hand, I'm looking for somebody to fake a document to pump up Maybon credibility. That's a lie. So I will go with that particular guy with that particular story when it comes to the whole issue. But people are just saying, no, you have stepped your bound because, look, my brother, we know that everything when it comes to. Go ahead,
go back to the same front page Africa editorial board on today. They said, their editorial, they said, Minister Jones fraud, an insult from Bouakar's regime to U.S. embassy. Hearing that? Said an insult from Bouakar's regime to the U.S. embassy. After the people coming up by telling you that thing what you're saying, we know nothing about it up to now. No release from the government.
Nothing. Because like I said, it's always about things dying or natural death. They assume all the time in Liberia that people don't follow this story and we have a short attention span. That when these kind of a story surface, within 72 hours they will die or natural death. Maybe today, how many people talking about that man that died at that Bolivar Palace Hotel? That's South Africa.
That's the
nobody.
If I even
he's a dead man.
Why you even go to that man? That's what was in the Prince Johnson.
Yeah. They understand the 24-hour news cycle and they know that this thing won't last long in the public. So it will just be one of many stories. Oh, that American embassy. The only thing that got my concern, like I said, when you have international partners, most especially for the US government that have this diplomatic, long-standing relationship, my brother, you don't want to go that route. You can do all your recommendations, you can skew the public procurement law, you can play all your corruption, but you don't want to get the country implicated because if the US government was to react, we the one would be the victim. Because of all the programs that they sponsor and all the funds when it comes to the budgetary support, the non-governmental organization, running water, clean. Look, these people, I'm not saying that they are perfect either, but they give us so much that we cannot jeopardize because of some nonsense, because of someone greed. That's why the editorial board is saying that this is an affront to the US government. It's an insult to the US embassy. You don't want to go this route. So we'll be looking up to the president. If he will even go that route by going after this president, whether he will investigate the situation, whether somebody must pay the price, because the risk here, the risk is just too bigger than the reward. We're talking about individual taking bribe, but we're talking about a country being affected because of the decision or facing the economic impact.
Because like for example, if you want to do your normal thing, do your normal thing, but you don't have to pull another person or maybe another country, maybe fit into whatsoever thing that you think that you want to do. And I
Oh
think the
yes.
government has to react to the kind of stories or to the kind of information because that will not make good. Mind you, though, it's not because of you people satisfaction or maybe you people political situation or maybe your corruption, so the entire country to feel the weight. No, we'll say no to that. So we're calling on the president. I think the government had to come up and reply the U.S. embassy when it comes to the 322,000. You imagine, Monk. We just talk about the police officer, what they're going through. You're going to use $322,441 for painting building. Okay, no
Yeah.
wahala, make the
Can
building.
you imagine that?
I don't even know for how long that building going to go for Monk that when they paint it.
That's just the assessment fee, though. That's what he's saying for the assessment. That's not the work for the painting
Because
itself.
I
The
mean, you have a
8,000. That's
60,000 for
assessment.
signature fee. Monk,
No,
60,000
that
for
the 60 grand for signature fee was the story that they referenced from the Akwe guy that got fired
okay.
in the past, and how this guy he always in the habit of exacerbating the fee so he can get his cut, because at the end of the day, all about kickbacks. But look at the thing here is about the risk to reward and what this editorial board said. And let me just read it. I mean, just a short statement here. They said, if Braga fails to act, what confidence can a U.S. embassy or any international partner have in its government ability to uphold integrity and accountability? The action undermined the effort the U.S. embassy made to support Liberia's progress. They insulted the U.S. taxpayer who fund development program in our country. They jeopardized the future investment in aid, which Liberia desperately need to address its present challenges. President Barger, the time for excuses over. The people of Liberia, the U.S. embassy, and the international community are watching your response to this scandal. It will define your presidency. That's why the president said, that's just an excerpt from the article you mentioned. And that's what we're talking about. You want to speak, we receive tens of millions of dollars from the US government. And you want to jeopardize that for some 25 or 40,000 or $50,000. Maybe does it make any sense to you?
That's some silly. Monk, this is the thing we be saying. Sometimes you will be eating until some kind of small eating that we're going to even disgrace you. And I
Yeah.
think that what they are maybe trying to do, but we're waiting for our news team.
Yeah, the
If
news
not,
team.
yeah. Then we'll continue. But folks, if you're just joining us, this is the SKTV show right here on the 2 FM, and we've been discussing a lot of issues. But today our attention have been drawn to that letter that Front Page Africa talk about that the U.S. embassy denied that they have nothing to do with that letter, and for a matter of fact, that letter not come from their end. So again, that's the kind of society we find ourselves in. That's the kind of country where we see so many things happening. So Mark, we're going for the news bulletin, and we'll come back. We're going to continue.
All right, but I'm joining you guys. I'll get take a break. This time, I must say I want to listen to the news bulletin to see what's going on over there. Yeah, just set it up here, and then after the news bulletin, then we can get back. Yep, that's what we got going.
A pleasant good evening, RCR News. Bulletin at 7. My name is Marka Davis. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai reaffirms his administration's commitment to advancing education in Liberia, expressing confidence in the newly appointed president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Lady Mapayan. Finance Minister Augustine Gafwa underscores the need for effective execution of the fiscal year 2025 national budget and has urged heads of government entities to manage the funds allotted to them in the budget. Vice President Jeremiah Cohn departs the country to represent President Joseph Boakai at the African Union's Extraordinary Summit on the Post-Malabo Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program. And out of Liberia, wildfires are raging in several areas of Los Angeles with high winds and extremely dry conditions, fueling their progress across thousands of acres of land, according to the BBC. Those are the headlines. Now the news in detail. President Joseph Boakai has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to advancing education in Liberia, expressing confidence in the newly appointed president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Lily Mapayan. President Boakai, who is also the visitor to the university, shared his optimism during an official meeting with Dr. Mapayan at the Executive Mansion on Thursday. Speaking during the meeting, President Boakai warmly welcomed Dr. Mapayan, stating that her appointment marks a new chapter for the University of Liberia. He expressed hope that her leadership will propel the university toward transformative growth, ensuring its alignment with national priorities, particularly in education and workforce development, as outlined in the government's arrest agenda. President Boakai also commended the UL Board of Trustees for their dedication and rigorous efforts throughout the selection process, noting that their decision to unanimously approve Dr. Mapayan reflects their commitment to excellence in leadership. Board of Trustees Chairman, Grand Crew County Senator Nemeni Batikwa presented Dr. Mapayan to the president, expressing his confidence in her ability to address the long-standing challenges facing the state-run university. In response, Dr. Lily Mapayan expressed gratitude for a warm welcome and pledged to dedicate herself fully to the university's progress. She reflected on her first visit to Liberia in 2009, and described her new role as a fulfillment of her dream to serve the nation. Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Gafwa has underscored the need for effective execution of the fiscal year 2025 national budget and has urged heads of government entities to manage the funds allotted to them in the budget. Minister Gafwa acknowledged that while certain ministers and directors were hired around April, having a budget execution mindset for 9 months will deplete the budget and their entitlement or ministry will go bankrupt shortly. Speaking at the start of a 3-day workshop on the effective execution of the fiscal year 2025 national budget, Minister Gafwa urged ministers and directors appointed around April not to have the mentality of executing their entities or ministries' budgets within 9 months, stating that doing so will result in the entities or ministries' budgets being exhausted before the budget year. The finance minister has meanwhile urged heads of public agencies to do quarterly and yearly planning, stating that it will add or aid in budget implementation. He said the administration expects better budget execution this year since last year there were transition issues that required the budget to be recast, filed in April, and enacted virtually in May. Minister Gafwa noted that as a result, ministries and agencies struggled with planning, emphasizing that now that ministries and agencies have a year to prepare, there should be no excuse for not doing better. For her part, Deputy Minister for Budget and Development Planning, Tanya Bronson, stated that the workshop aims to refresh and enhance policymakers and technical staff's grips of essential fiscal regulations, budget implementation methods, monitoring, and reporting. According to her, the program is crucial in improving spending organizations' ability to execute their budgets efficiently and responsibly. Liberia's Deputy Minister for Budget and Development Planning stated that by providing participants with the necessary knowledge and tools, the workshop will help ensure that public funds are used effectively to meet citizens' needs while also supporting the government's broader development objectives. The section brought together representatives from 108 spending entities and is taking place at the ministerial complex in Congotown, Monrovia. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn has departed the country to represent President Joseph Boakai at the African Union's Extraordinary Summit on the Post-Malabo Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program, the CAADP. The summit is scheduled to take place from January 9 to 11 in Kampala, Uganda. Liberia's team is led by Vice President Kuhn and includes representatives from the foreign ministries and the Ministry of Agriculture, the African Union Commission's Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Blue Economy and Sustainable Development, and the African Union Development Agency, New Partnership for Africa's Development, are hosting the conference. According to a release from the Office of the Vice President, the summit's major goal is to examine and support the Kampala CAADP declaration, which would serve as a roadmap for reforming Africa's agri-food systems between 2026 and 2035. The summit will feature two important sections where the Foreign Affairs, Agriculture, Rural Development, Water and Sanitation Ministries will engage in interactive talks on 10 January that will lay the background or the groundwork for a comprehensive evaluation of the CAADP declaration with suggestions to assist in its implementation. The Assembly of Heads of State and Government will be convened during the second section on January 11 to endorse the draft 10-year CAADP strategy and action plan from 2026 to 2025 and the Kampala CAADP declaration. At the Assembly, Vice President Kuhn will deliver Liberia's national statement affirming the country's commitment to the Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program. The Vice President Kuhn will also highlight President Boakai's launch of the Liberia National Agriculture Development Plan 2024-2030, which aims to enhance food security, create jobs, and reduce poverty. You are listening to a bulletin of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. We broadcast from Dupont Road in Painesville, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. In more news, the president of the Press Union of Liberia, Julius Kanumba, has disclosed the structuring of the union's county coordination, comprising the coordinators, deputy coordinators, secretaries, as well as financial secretaries. In an interview with State Radio, Kanumba noted that the system of coordinating in a county has been abused. He added that the PUL county coordinators are demotivated due to lack of compensation. The PUL president further stated that the union is holding consultations to ensure a committee is set up to constitute the county structures that will include people from diverse backgrounds. Out of Liberia, wildfires are raging in several areas of Los Angeles with high winds and extremely dry conditions fueling their progress across thousands of acres of land. Firefighters are so far unable to contain them, with one fire official telling the BBC on Thursday that they are still rapidly expanding. The largest fire in the Pacific Palisades area, where many celebrities live, is the most destructive fire in the history of Los Angeles. More than 1,000 buildings have been destroyed, according to the BBC. This affluent suburb is among those that have been the hardest hit, with many residents being unable to gather much or anything of value before they were soon out of the area. The Palisades Chapter High School is among landmarks in the Pacific Palisades area to have been damaged in the fires. The well-known school counts celebrities, including Willem and Forrest Whitaker among its alumni, and has been a filming location for Hollywood hits, including Carrie, Teen Wolf, and Freaky Friday. The Eaton fire has destroyed hundreds of homes and businesses in Altadena, which lies behind the mountains north of Los Angeles. And elsewhere, Chad's government has said security forces had thwarted an alleged effort to destabilize the country on Wednesday night after a group of people attacked the presidential palace in the capital, N'Djamena. An attempt at destabilization has been foiled. 19 people died and 6 were injured, including 18 assailants and 1 soldier, Foreign Minister Abdirahman Kolalaman told State TV. He added that 24 individuals armed with knives rather than guns had attacked the guards around the presidential palace. Calm has now returned to Intamina, according to the BBC. Earlier, sources close to the government had said clashes had occurred between security forces and terrorist elements, but Kulamala described the attacks as a disordered and incomprehensible attempt carried out by people who were intoxicated. Well, to end this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. President Joseph Boakai reaffirms his administration's commitment to advancing education in Liberia, expresses confidence in the newly appointed president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Lady Mapayan. Finance Minister Augustine Gafwa underscores the need for effective execution of the fiscal year 2025 national budget, urges heads of government entities to manage the funds allocated to them in this year's budget. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn departs the country to represent President Boakai at the African Union's Extraordinary Summit on the Post-Malabo Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program. And out of Liberia, wildfires are raging in several areas of Los Angeles, with high winds and extremely dry conditions fueling their progress across thousands of acres of land, according to the BBC. That's RCA News Bulletin at 7. My name is Marka Davis.
Yes, indeed, we're back after the news bulletin. To those of you who were commenting, indeed, we sincerely apologize. We don't know exactly. Maybe you were informing us about some of the sound, but again, I think everything is okay. But again, we're back. Well, Mark, we're back after the news bulletin, and we were on the letter, and you finished reading the letter. We have our own views and so forth. But again, we're back.
Indeed, we are back. We'll be hearing from our people, right? When you open the lines, it gets 1:16, 16 minutes past the hour. So when you're ready, just give us signal.
Yes, so I think we can chip in a little bit before we activate the line, so that
Oh
we
yeah,
will, yeah, so that we'll be able to interact with our people. So again, like you are, like we're talking about the letter. So today, folks, to all of you that will be calling in today, our attention is on the letter. That
hmm
our according to the Liberian government, through the Ministry of Finance, they said that that letter came from the U.S. Embassy, and the U.S. Embassy said no, they have no idea, they have nothing to do with any letter of recommendation and so forth. So that's what we're talking about here tonight, and we're looking at the relationship as it stands. There are things that when you do to people, like for example, in a simpler way, when you lie on somebody, right? Sometimes the person can lose trust in you, mom, and that's the kind of way,
Maybe,
right? Yeah.
maybe,
Mm.
you said it right. Almost like you just took the words from my mouth. The thing about this letter, we all know that corruption is endemic in Liberia. It's not the first time. It keep happening, and Joseph Burger is not going to change that. The only thing here is we're talking about the risks and reward associated because of the institution that is involved this time around. Because they somehow try to that's an implication of your foreign partner and your how they can call it your international partners over there. And it's not just your regular international partner, this is your strategic, this is your long-term or how they call it your long-term ally when it comes to diplomatic relationship between we and the abroad in the United States. So we are looking at first we are looking at some potential price to pay when it comes to this. I'm not saying the American government going to make a decision, but when we open the lines today, we want for our people to really send a message out there that this president should investigate this matter and make sure that he can clarify his government administration name in this thing. Because there could be a huge price to pay. The US government invests heavily in that country. It's every year, whether it's budgetary support. And the last time I checked, even our own police uniform, we don't even buy police uniform. They got so many projects that goes on in that country. So, and when these things happen, the common people are the one that suffer the most. So we want for them to call here to send that caveat, call and make that clear. Call to Joseph Boakai. This one shouldn't just die on natural death. He should get to the bottom of it and let something happen. I mean, he got to take a stand because, like the editorial board said, that days at the front of the U.S. embassy. It could be other embassies around the country. The same thing, the same standards should apply. But I am just saying, in terms of the potential, in terms of the weight, in terms of the blowback, with our partner, number one partner. I know we got other partners from around the world, but I'm talking about in terms of
So
investment.
when
You
you
cannot
go
make
down,
any comparison.
or more when you go downward to that editorial or board,
Mhm.
you will see something there what they call a blatant forgery, right? Not only
Yeah, let me.
undermine Nigeria's procurement laws, but also tonnage. Hmm. Yeah, God.
Well, where is
Tonnage.
it? Let me see.
Yeah,
Let me see where you're reading from. You mean to
a
the
little bit.
way to the bottom?
Yeah, no, I think we I think the second or nearly the third paragraph after the Jones, when you see the Jones, Jones used a falsified U.S. embassy letter from that part. You count down the second one. Read it.
No, let me get it straight because there are so many subtitles in this particular editorial
Oh
board.
no,
Some
Go to
phrases.
where they have. Go to where they have the editorial minister Jones for. Or go to editorial, right? Minister Jones for, right? And insert from Boakai's regime. Go there, go to that. You will see
Oh, you mean
it is
after the blatant fraudulent?
a code. Yes, they're where I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said this blatant fraudulent may not only undermine Labrador procurement law, but also tarnish the trust that the U.S. embassy has worked tirelessly to build with the Liberian people by using a forged embassy document to justify a distinct uh 324 $322,441 contract. Jones has not only defrauded the Liberian people, but he has also directly insulted the integrity of the U.S. government. That's very huge, and that's the thing we're talking about when our people call today. So the president needs to take action. That's the
Zero
bottom line
triple
because the
seven two
reward
eight
here.
five 961. We take more calls today. 077-285-961. That's a number for you to call those of you back home. That's a local number. 077-285-961. To this first caller, good evening. I'm okay. Thank God for life. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mabel. This is David King, and I do join you from Extended Day resident. You see, Mabel, this is what I said yesterday. The Americans should begin to section these people. Look, Mabel, we can continue to steal for ourselves, and we implicate the other people. Using other people as a reference to commit the kind of crime against ourselves. People continue to see in his government, and Mr. Boakai will do nothing. Mr. Boakai will do nothing. Even if you call Mr. Boakai for nothing, Jesus Christ can come. We don't see Mr. Boakai taking action. So all we can say to our partners, the Americans, say in fact they are using them to lie, to steal from us, they should sanction those who all are involved. Because the Bill Mandate Joe, man, every day he's in the news for the wrong reason. And if he protected by free way. So we say American section free way, section Bill Mandate Joe, all of our family in America, section they send them back home so we all can live here so that they can serve as a deterrent for people to stop doing the kind of thing they continue to do.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sanction them. Sanction all of their children are well and everybody. So let's call up. Good evening. Yeah, go ahead.
It is a Boakai regime. They may always take a ball over there and my period, or whatever. The UK, she soccer America, we came to America, America came to all. And again, it's not fucking people and friendly joint again. So their whole Boakai government, they don't come with any agenda. They don't come to get.
They don't do it to the presidential.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. To this caller, good evening.
Hello, I'm Prince Martin, calling on forward.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask the government to do due agents, whosoever that forged that document should be prosecuted or sanctioned. Because I don't expect the president to take any action, serious action.
All right, thank you so much. You don't think that the president will take any serious action? Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Isa Kamara joining from District 4 to be precise as a community.
Thank you, Isa, for joining us.
I want to thank you and your panelists, but you will not tell Mona to show his face. For me, I can see more feel in the picture.
Don't worry, one day, don't worry.
To the issue, you see, this government is not serious, like I always say. The UN embassy been taking elected with this government. They see people then when they shoot people in Kimo, when people book appointment with the embassy, when you not when they book appointment with the embassy, when they ask them why the reason why the people when they shoot people in Kimo and you are not saying anything about it, maybe President or whoever they said the government see the people keep going against it. They see people there again, they call a woman from the UK or Morocco, the woman king, and insulting the American right in their face, and which of course they walk out, they protested by walking out. The American government they did not say anything about it. So maybe the government feel that they in the injury or then they don't want to be serious. That's why I always say they should send them the police director, they should send them the justice minister, even the guy, they blue market guy in the front of me, they should sentence them. They should
sanction all of them.
Because every time looking at it, for me to even see sometimes your county show to always motion task the audience, then I will see people attacking your son, and I can say the media is doing well. Because you're the one we depend on to really bring information. That what always I can tell you should not be intimidated. You are very objective.
Thank you.
I want to tell you, thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, Melbourne.
Yeah, go ahead, my dear.
My name is Joseph B. Nimle, and I call for the Making for All Intellectual Forum.
Joseph Nimle, you're not start taking the people's signature now?
Or that investigation, please make yourself before the employer. All of the people is wishing the government will do this. And then for the 25 January, the president will be launching is our developmental platform or a general will be launching. So I want to say thank you to the president. The best president ever in the Republic of Nigeria. And the first year of this government is more general and more important than the first year of the former president George we have. So thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. Keep a calls coming, Liberians are speaking. Yeah, keep a calls coming 077-285-961. That's the number to call. Say 1847. Yes, indeed. Say one. Say 1847. Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Yeah, my name is PICC and I'm joining for Joseph.
Thank you. Go ahead, my dear.
Yeah, what I want to say here about the light door. Our president Joseph Baga is in the of that letter, so we have nothing to say about that letter. And do you people will always using our phone to listen to the show? But then at the end of the day, you will always do injustice.
How?
In a sense that you compare somebody who said that they worked in government for 42 years plus and they came to the country as president, and then somebody who would show that knew nothing about government system. And then they perform the day of best. And then somebody who claimed that they were qualified, they came to the country from the day they became president. We were working in the country from the day of the inauguration till now. And the other people saying that we just compare the two people. For me, if we always be injustice, because someone will always listen to
no, listen now. No, the reason why I said that, that's my own opinion, and I came back and said, no, everybody has the right to what? To either to say they want that the choice they want is good, they want not good, right? And we said that, and we talk about making and say yes, indeed, it is the right of anybody to say whatsoever thing, right? Okay.
think the president has to stay in that letter.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much, my dear brother. Today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, go ahead, my dear. Thank you, brother Sumo, for joining us. Go ahead.
Thank you for you and Mom for giving us the information. This government will tell the people that from the day to the government 4 decades, we have not seen anything about him. Tangible about his own self before we came in this country, we told the people. Now they have gone to fraud the American embassy name to say they send letter to give country to somebody. And then the people come out to say they don't know anything about it. So they are taking our country now to be a place of play. And we are not here for play. They are educated people. If they don't know to do the work of the people, let it turn the country back to us. We will know how to do our country. But they can't be there, then they be supporting our country image. The international scene. So let the American embassy take action against these people.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. Let the American people take action. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Labor, and good evening to Uncle President. Emmanuel Sana is my name for two days out in New York.
Yeah, go ahead, Emmanuel.
Money and one of your callers, I said Joe Biden is the best president. Joe Biden is the best president because there is a president who brought yellow machine onto the agreement. Joe Biden is the best president.
I knew he was sarcastic when he made that statement.
After this, there was no celebration. There is a best president that today our is honor that no honor till there is a best. Joe Biden is the best president. Where you have to speak up, there is a best president who so he address all major issues when it comes to economic disparity.
Okay, thank you. I know I can. In fact, the two speakers they're not going for Donald Trump. I know you're not going to. Sometimes just let my voice. They be laughing.
When he called initially, I knew he was being sarcastic. I just listened to him, and then the guy he trying to say something, so they may call back to clarify why he's the best president.
Thank you. They may say he's the best. Say 1847, and that's true. He's the best. So let's call a good evening. Hello? Yeah, go ahead.
Discussion for legal market, the legacy of one president here. Therefore, I call this evening to reason to our education system. We need to be very, very careful in this country. Because some of us suspecting that Joseph Walker and government are on a mission to create a condition that all Nigerians will go against the American people. Are you getting me?
You are on the radio. Go ahead. The people said they want you to walk away. That one was small. That one they go for your letter or they go for your signature. Thank you so much. Keep your calls coming. 077-285-971. Today's caller. Good evening. Yeah, go ahead, my dear. I can understand parable. I do that, but I can do parable. Today's caller, good evening. Forget about way back story with them, my own. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the topic of our discussion. Have you ever seen the Senegal government doing good thing? The people drawing 200 the farm machine. It didn't go through the PCC agreement. Our floor. It is some $1 million. Now the point discussing about $30 to $40 million to pay. You put about 300 escape the buses to come to La Plura to ease the transportation fare. Up to now, you can see they gave me nicotine. Students was what was king. My brother, what did you get from this Senegal government? The bondage of home, I give you the matter of law. They give me construction. Nothing far we see having there. Senegal government hard people, elaborate people. That's what we see. Thank you.
Thank you. So the American people say you should stop like we're gonna contribute. 077-285-961. Now I can still recall 2003. Of course, right? That will cost some of you. You see this thing, it's small thing American people do for us here in the country. Some of you just take America like you're so gonna play toy. 077-285-961. Everything. The people send you all your your man said the country or not to also I beg you about people. Yeah, man. What kind of country be this? 077-285-961. That's the country we live in. And that either police people or over testing now. Hello to let's call good evening.
Thank you. You got me laughing,
Yeah, my brother, every time. Yeah, man. Go ahead, my dear.
The country very interesting, my brother. Every day are different thing. So thank you. This is the voice of Sherry, Vamian Sherry. I join you from this Saturday Model Corner.
Thank you for joining us, my dear.
Let me say thank you for the program and to your police. You see, everyone what is happening now, we just have to be careful because some of us we can listen to the radio and then we can't call. But you know, it's just good at time because we are citizens for the country and whatever will be good, it will be bad. We affect each and everyone.
Yeah, well, that one not loud. Don't even sit down. You got to talk too.
Exactly. So sometimes we can decide to call so we can add our voice to the other people that move of us so that things can go on right in the country. Joseph Baga, you do it good. Joseph Baga, you do it bad. This is our country. We pray that our country will be peaceful for the next 5 years. Then we can move to the next government. Thank you so much.
And that's the thing, man. There. Thank you so much. I want to maybe when you have a protest, I can get angry because I won't be young people. You lead the people, let them be. Hey. Hello, good evening. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, like I was saying, anything bad, but if I bet you all is all that little good, and the internet is the full American people in the center with the president in the center, the prior woman and share was thought what all your God see, and when you saw it, when I see him, when I rejected
man, we're talking different. You want to be talking about hello, let's go. Good evening. Hello? Yeah, man, what kind of people are here in our country? Hello? Yeah, man, dear, go ahead. Move away from your monitor. Won't get you clap because even the US people, they also listen to you. Anything you say, they... Yeah, good evening, go ahead.
Okay, I'm speaking from Cap City. Good afternoon.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us. What's your name?
My name is Sonny Molva. Okay, I'm just telling you, those are talking against Joe Biden because those that were in favor of Joe, but Joe Biden is the best government in this country.
Okay.
Because everything on post so that the best government that he ruin on now, Joe Biden.
All right.
Those all that talking against him, they were supporting Georgia or
now the loser they're talking, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hey. The best go. Let me go to line 2. I don't know how can people call.
Yeah. All right.
Hello. Yeah, man. Dear, good evening.
Yeah, this is Moses guy. I'm calling from Kosovo. You know the guy who just dropped the line who said that people are against the worker. These are the guys that used to protest the riot. But then the government get in the problem. How many times you have ever heard that we the opposition are protesting?
Because you're not get nothing to protest for because everything okay. So why you going to protest? And the matter go easy. You don't get nothing to protest. Why you protest? Anyway, guess what? I think you can protest. You don't get nothing to protest again. Why you going to protest? So let's call a good evening. You see the police people enjoying the people all kind and they want protest. Go ahead, man. There your name and from where you joining us. Hey, man. You all leave me with your better good room. No need to protest. Everything okay. Hey, see the police officer on car. In fact, all the police officers they are in show. Yeah, go ahead. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you, Eric, for joining us. Go ahead, man, dear. They may not get issue with Ben Corral. They probably not get issue, but the only people that get issue that US people say I want name for your team. Now what we saying, I want to discuss. We not get that one is clear. The papa say hello? Yeah, my dear, good evening. Go ahead. Thank you for joining us from District 11. Go ahead, my dear.
I'm calling for the speaker law record district. Thank you very much. Why the guy said I don't monitor the show and it's true President Parker is the best president of Liberia. Because the one who can break the law of the country. If the man who not respect the rule of law of the country.
Up to now, people say acting, they say making 12,000, 14,000. They say.
So all the promises he gave, we're not going by it. So he is the best president of Liberia. Even the letter you are talking about, me before I come to the letter, you are not lying. That letter there, nothing can come out of it. Only people that can take action on that, they will fully be their marriage. Because since President Walker has been suspending people with investigation. Anybody like maybe when you suspend you, change you from this place, change to another place to make more money. Like if you look at the university and see the interim president at the university, he took him from there and wanted another job. Why we are discussing about 35 million, we are not even just getting the case there. Now, only the government, only the American can take decision on that. So, President Walker is the best president of Liberia.
All right. Thank you so much. So, let's call a good evening. Please, 1 minute. Let's move on quick. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Joseph Pikin. And I do join the conversation of Division number 3, Montserrat County.
Yeah, go ahead.
Today we are seeing our country gradually going down the drain because we have one old man who drawing nothing certified at the end. We are from this country. So we are ashamed of ourselves, young people in this country, and we are very ashamed of the poor people. We saw that program will change the narrative of our country, but today we saw our country is going backward, and then that will largely join us destroy the country. But those guys are giving part of those guys are destroying the country. As I said here, there's going to be a big match, and we need people that are cooling that will change the situation, and we'll take it out.
Thank you so much, team. Mark, I don't know whether you want to chip in a little bit. Let's just give or maybe let's just a few more calls.
We still got like close to 20 minutes. Let them keep calling until maybe we'll get to the 10-minute mark and then we can take it from there.
Yeah, indeed. Hello, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Everyone takes our international calls too. I don't know if somebody want to call.
Yeah, I don't know.
From the WhatsApp, we love our diaspora folks.
Yeah, indeed. Seriously, I don't know what happened today. They're not calling. But keep a calls coming. Also, the WhatsApp number is there. Also, today's caller. Hello. Yeah, man. Dear, good evening. Go ahead, your name and from where you join us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Lawrence Spencer. I'm joining your show from Megan Tohoya in Johnson.
Oh, hello. I can see that place. Oh.
Yeah, they Megan Tohoya. What's going on over there?
Go ahead, man. Yeah, man.
I agree with more that for me at this point I cannot contrast the two governments because in a 4 year, okay, let's be fair. All I'm not very rosy in the 4 year of this government, but for me I will not carry to still feel to tell you that when we released on the president, the 4 year was far better than the 4 year of this government. I think it's the as the friend man will say, okay? If you see still the steering, you want to see the Liberian way. So there's no big difference, or particle, there's no difference. And if you see one you photo, that's why we told people, if you want to progress the government, and you cannot continue to retravel the same people. You cannot survive in a stable society. Somebody said, and keep saying it over and over. If you want to get a different result, you have to do things differently. So you go and bring the people that let the country need to bad governance for 20 years, and you still will perform miracle one day. They are all become, Jesus one night, and you will develop your life. So it's a pending one here, the grand people realize, well, I don't think completely. These are the grand people that are jumping on car and motorbikes still months back. So election have consequences,
all right. All right, thank you. All right, thank you. It's just frustrating that every time when our people, or maybe when they go on the rain, on the sun to campaign, and they have a new leader, then they go back to the same old story. I don't even know. It's just very frustrating. Hello, today's caller, good evening.
Good evening, brother Meko.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Surprised?
Always saving bling on your friends and from the time. He said, he share bling, drink about and total, he share bling, every, and even up to now, he still sharing bling. So that's it. So the people, they can make it, they feel like they're.
So what happened to the people that talk? The American people, they say that they don't know nothing about what's going on. What we're talking here today, that probably story about will bring up maybe one of these days, and so that all of you so I can talk in that one. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Chairman. Keep a call coming 077-285-961. That's the number. I think yes, indeed. Today, maybe our international people they won't pause or something happen. Well, let me check them on internet too. I hope you're okay. I think it's active. Today's caller, good evening. Hello, how you doing, Chief? Your name and from where you join us?
My name is Gidu. I come from Manjiri, District 1.
From Manjiri, District number 1. Go ahead, my dear.
Yeah. Well, going in the country, I can only listen to you all air. But one thing I really that I know in our country is no system. Because country now has no system. You always see the going on in the country. So me, I can be asking myself that, there's a very independent country. Because our country is independent. We have no system. No system in the country. Country just because. You have something in the country yet?
I want you to be too very soon. Hello? Yeah.
What's up, man?
My dear. Yes, we get it, my brother. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, my boss, this is Eddie from Chicken Soup Factory. Remember the responding defense here.
Go ahead, Eddie.
That today the American embassy know that Unity Party can lie. The embassy are aware that the people can lie. So it should not be strange to the embassy. You understand it? It should not be a strange to the American people. The people know very well that Unity Party people can lie. They people lie on machine. Now you see what is going to now. So who already come on and say that let us be happy? You ever hear the government ever come out to say, oh yeah, we sorry? So in love with the American people, if they want to take any action against the Unity Party government, in love with that. If they don't want to take action, they leave with that. What's wrong with that letter affecting me? It's not affecting me. I think it's hard to see to go get my delivery, to see how people can move to their property. That's my focus now. It's not what letter business. The American people know that very well Unity Party can lie. Even more than in America, they know very well that people can lie.
No. All right. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, my dear, go ahead. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Yes, Lawrence Blamo calling from Rekima County.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Okay, I'm monitoring the show. I'm very happy. And I was just listening to our guest on the YouTube.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The man from Kima, I want a man to call and tell us somebody happened because There be Martin people. Yeah, I feel sorry for you. Therefore, I came and really want to ask you. Hello? To the scholar, good evening. Yeah? Okay, thank you for joining. Go ahead.
I'm still wondering why people can really take America to be God.
Meaning?
American can lie.
Meaning?
America not lie to organizations that are using our weapon of mass destruction.
Hello, my young man. Hello. 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 Let's go to the letter we're talking about here. You stop beating them more than you. Let's go to the letter, please. Don't go to that one.
Yeah, but when somebody was talking about the American government, I don't know if you ever told them no.
Who now?
But I don't want people to talk against America.
No, because listen.
Americans said the one want to speak about people issue. If the issue of Donald Trump or any African president, America will listen, you're not electing.
So that writing like black government do to go and allow the people?
Allow people. They can lie.
But also when allowed to him allowed to. Well, man, that's very interesting. How you will say that? How you will say that, Chief? I don't. Jesus. Oh yeah, what can report of code? Yeah, what can report of code? And you go for evidence to them, and they tell you no, maybe they don't have evidence. So don't do. We gotta. Okay, no problem. All right, thank you, sir. They lie, we lie too. Monk, I think we're gonna end it on the other side of the play. I don't want myself.
To that brother, let me just respond to that brother. We are not here to be the moral police. We are just saying everything there is a risk and there is a reward for the amount of contribution in terms of financial support, budgetary support. We are just saying that that's the last place you want to carry your corruption. Whether it's America is corrupt, we're not taking America to be God. They themselves they are infallible human beings. They are yet an advanced society. We are saying for our country and for the level of help that we receive, when you want to do your corruption thing, just do it among yourself. Don't take it because if the worst was to happen, our poor people will be the one to suffer, whether it's about sanctions, whether it's about cutting down aid, whether it's about punishing the Baga government for corruption. At the end of the day, Baga and his officials, they are well off financially. It's the woman in the market, the papetas on the farm, they are the one that will feed the bread. And that's what we're saying. So we are not here to play moral police about whether the American people, they are perfect. That's not what we're saying here. Yeah, you know, that's not what we are talking about here. We are just saying that the government should draw a line because it happened in the previous administration when they were threatening to withdraw aid from the country because we our government went and tapped into those people covered through the article. They said it was the retirement, the pensioners funds, right? That they took money from nine, I think it was 9 countries or 9 different embassies. They wrote a letter, a joint letter, threatening the government. Who you think are going to be the victim? The poor people. So we are just advocating for you that they can do all they want to do. We already know they have no regard for you anyway when it comes to stealing, but just don't take it too far because the risk is too bigger of a risk for us to take as a people in the country rather than few guys trying to land their pockets. That's what we are saying here, my brother. So if you want to take America to quote about Margaret, that one, that's your thing. We are just saying.
And I just talk with the monk or in passing, I mean, also add to you, uncle, because I think you are sounding like one of the elderly person. I think sometimes you got to stop putting the kind of thinking in the mind of the young people, especially when you have children, right? To say, oh, America to buy, America to do this, America to do that. Look, uncle, America will, Monk, just imagine here in Liberia, $100 million worth of drugs was arrested here, right, Monk?
I can't remember. It's still
recently. We don't even know until that it was the same American government. So the people want to tell you this. That means they have seen something. So to just come and be making some or maybe statement to be making some argument, brother, stop that. You're going to Saddam Hussein, all the things. You don't even know what happened with
on that side. You don't even get the intelligence in your own country talking about way in the Gulf.
You don't even have intelligence. You're look at one police officer on Thursday today. You see all of these kind of things. You're not thinking? You're talking about America. America too. They can do this. They can do no. So, Uncle, please. America been doing all of their best in making sure that Liberia get to where they want for Liberia to get. It is your own officials, it is your own government that continue to suffer you in
But
this
maybe
own manner. Yeah.
the thing can happen right in your own home. Your father and your mother, they are responsible for your well-being. They send you to school, they feed you every day as a kid or a young man growing up. It means that they are perfect, but they are the
Mhm.
one that make decision, right? Because they are the one that finance you, they are the one that support you, so they get that leverage when it comes to making
Exactly.
decision or punishing you. It mean that your mind and power they are 100% perfect.
But
But
we
when
even
you are
talk
at the
about
bottom, yeah, you
but
got to
but more
take.
about talking about the parents should be able to even respect or not to provoke the child, right?
Yeah, the child, yeah. So
So
we
why,
just
my brother?
saying.
Yeah.
That's just what we are saying. So maybe he can take that out of there. That one talking about geopolitics, who is perfect, whether they went to Saddam Hussein, whether they grabbed other country. I mean, that's not our business. We are just talking for Liberia. Based on our standing, we are just saying for the Baka-led government and his officials, especially people that work at the will and pleasure of the president. That's why we are demanding the president to do something about this, because the blowback will be devastating for regular people and average people. Let me tell you something, Bible. All the people that be
Mm.
calling for sanction. Sometimes they don't understand
Mhm.
the thing
Okay,
about
good.
sanction. When you pass sanction, that poor people can suffer. Rich people don't suffer from sanction.
They don't even know.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, you can limit that travel, but they got so many options when it comes to traveling. They got
Mm.
unlimited resources. But you, the common man, let's say if the other poor and economic embargo, when you know who's going to pay the price, it's you. You're
Okay,
going
no,
to pay
one
the price,
example
directly or indirectly.
is Edison not enjoying? The man
Mm.
go America.
Hey,
The man
yeah,
go America.
in America, yeah. But even Syrian allies are the same thing. They could care less about sanctions. They've been on sanctions for almost 20 years. It ain't mean nothing to them. They're still doing what they can do. So at the end of the day, you the regular, the average president, you the one going to carry the brunt of the burden. We are just saying this government and the president should keep his folks in check, because they are taking it to a whole different level. We are not saying that the American people they are perfect, that they are infallible. We are just saying the place they are taking it now, no, it's crossing the limit. They got to put themselves in check. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Monk. So with the sanction issue, let me also join Monk and say to us as people, the best sanction is you and myself to hold these people accountable, to go to these people and tell them that what they are doing is wrong. That's the only best sanction. That's why you see all of the time they look, American people, they will not come here and can tell you, okay, today we're removing the other leader and president. No, they won't do that. If that maybe some of you that were you thinking on after voting, when you have your own representative or senator or maybe president, you want American people to come and remove them. No. They're not going to work. So they're not going to work. So when it comes to organization, you as a person, you as a citizen, it is upon you to tell your leaders that what they are doing is wrong. Up to now or more, we still have people acting in various positions and they are collecting all of the benefits. When you see that thing happen, only year in Liberia for almost 1 year, people say acting
You
and they are
know,
collecting all of the benefits.
they get this idiomatic expression. They say the one who pays the piper calls the
Mm,
tune. When you have, I'm not saying we are not praising you, we are not here to toot the American government home. We are just saying when you want to implicate people, know where to take your corruption and your stealing as a local government.
mm.
Because everything that happened in that country the last time I checked, whether it was full aid during the war, whether even your ECOWAS will look forward to the US government for financing of all their operation at the end of the day. When
Oh, yes, indeed.
coronavirus or the how they call it, say your Ebola virus came, the very first country you look up to in terms of resources, it was the same US
It's
government. They provided
US.
more than 60% of all the aid that came to your country financially, logistic wise. So we are just saying we got too much to lose, therefore few greedy individuals to jeopardize. And we want the president to take a stand on this issue. He got to get to the bottom of it and make some people to be held accountable. That's all we are saying. I'm not here to talk about the Gulf War. I'm not here to talk about America and Russia and Ukraine. We are just talking about our country and the risk that we stand when it comes to implicating your foreign partner. It's not the right way to go. So, my brother, we can say further than that. We're just telling you that just how it should be.
Well,
We
So
manage
that's
our
it. We
business.
got So we gotta go home now. No time already.
Mhm.
So I want to say thanks to you and our but quickly in passing. Maybe you want to say something before we go.
Well, nothing more. Tomorrow is Friday, right? I don't think I will be here
Mhm.
tomorrow. I think the other guys will be here. Yeah, usually when I be here, maybe it'll be Monday through Thursday. If I will be able to make it Monday through Thursday. Yeah, I think man thing. I've been saying it for the longest, but my schedule getting a little bit tighter. So maybe I might just show face for our offering basket and then I'll be out because that's my responsibility. Except I turn it over to Steve now because he won't be in that department to
Yeah.
do the calculation. So if he would take one out that department, then I don't think I would have to be here on Friday. So, but maybe
All
more and
right.
the listening audience, thanks for the time, God. We appreciate all you do. Tomorrow we'll be
Thank you
here,
so much,
God
my
willing.
dear brother. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to our viewers. Let me say many thanks to all of you for your comments. Felicia, Wallo, always on our back with a lot of interesting comments and so forth. Thanks to all of you folks. So we got to go. Thanks to you all for all of your calls, especially those of you that participated. Thanks to all of you for always calling us also after the show to give your own insight, tell us some of the things. Thank you so much. And again, Liberia is all we have. All we are saying here is for Liberia to get better. Let me be frank. Anything goes wrong is affect all of us as people. That how the kind of things we talk about here today, that how all these things work and the high look. So when we come here, some of you get your feelings and say we're not like this. It's not about liking people. People life flourishing. They are enjoying. Their children are in best of schools, and you come and say we're not like. Well, so let all of us let be poor, let be working, let motorcycle be insulting us. Then we say yeah we like. Well, but you can be and be enjoying at the detriment of people. You doing things like only you alone that own the country. And we'll tell you, some of you come and say we don't like. Anyway, good night. But all you can do, stay away from the US activities, especially when they have to do with any form of corruption. Don't involve your partner into, especially US government. Thank you so much and good night. Catch you when I catch you. And I'm Johnson Mayburn Kula.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What about people who willing to sell? Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The project is giving us the end of premise of them. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make you? I can't Sktv menu. Say my journey, Tina can I say my yamo. And yes, I know money. The more I get you. And you love me. The more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandbaza.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Salia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Tapagiarina ya tumale, Sktv, ena Tapagiarina, Tosi wako maya tumale, yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lopa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. What about people who waiting to sell? The flesh, that time and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. To work with my life with Africa. From Grandpa to Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chide, from Penku, Bombay, Cape Mount, Montserrat to San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.